Yeah. Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our May 2nd, 2023 council meeting. This is hybrid. We do have people online as well as in the audience here today. It's 9:30, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. And I'm going to start off with a land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen is located on the Treaty 20 Mississauga territory of the Mississauga and Chippewa Nations, collectively known as the Williams Treaties First Nations, which includes Curve Lake, Hiawatha, Alderville, Scugog Island, Rama, Beausoleil, and Georgina Island First Nations. The Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen respectfully acknowledges that the Williams Treaties First Nations are the stewards and caretakers of the lands and waters in perpetuity, and that they continue to maintain this responsibility to ensure their health and integrity for generations to come. I'm going to ask council to turn cell phones off or place them on vibrate so it doesn't disturb the meeting, and remind council of the declaration of community interest. If it rises, can declare it then, or if there's something there, you can declare it now. We have minutes here from the special council meeting on March 27th for budget deliberations. I'll look for a mover to receive those minutes. Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Doherty, all in favor? And that's carried. Okay, we have one delegation scheduled today, and that's Randy Morrow, and it's with regard to tree planting and care. Randy, welcome, and you can do it right from there if that's good for you. Mm-hmm. So you had some concerns around the tree care and planting.
Morning, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Deputy Mayor, councillors and administrators. My name is Randy Morrow, and I've lived here in Havelock since I had a work accident. I fell and broke my neck in 2015. So I've lived here at Ann Street with in my mother's house because it's accessible. And so I've noticed during that time that very commonly a lot of young trees are dead, either dead or dying, and it seems to go on each year. And I've been meaning to bring this to attention for the last couple of years. I just haven't. So now is the time. So it's just that the trees seem to be weed whipped to death, and there's maybe some maybe lack of watering or something like that. But anyway, whatever the issues are, I'm not totally sure, but I do know I sent in a picture, of one of the trees. I didn't know you can only send one picture. I have several. I should have sent a cluster, but I had pictures of 4 dead trees all on the strip out by the rail line, and all in the park areas. Many of the trees are either dead or dying or severely damaged at the base by the weed whipping.
Okay. Yeah, and that's something, normally they have a bit of soil around the bottom of them so the grass doesn't grow into the tree, so you don't have to trim there. Yeah. But I've seen that myself over the years as far as all over the place. But like not just in the township, it is a touchy thing to sometimes try and get away from, but we do take a lot of pride in the trees on Highway 7 there, and as well as around the township. I know we had one over by the water tower that we planted, and I think it's dead now, or I don't know if they put a new one in last year. Same thing, water is a hard thing. Yeah. To keep them watered. There is some new methods of doing that, and maybe it's something we need to look at, but is council got any questions or comments, or go ahead?
Well, I'd like to thank you for your presentation here, Randy. Some things were brought up to me by other constituents in terms of along the Highway 7 corridor and some of the trees. It's something I think that we as a council should look at going forward. I think not just the saplings that you've shown. I think there's a couple of older trees there that probably could be taken down as well. And I know we have access to the tree program still, so I don't know if you know, obviously we can get a few trees out of there, and I think there's a few trees coming out of our parkette here eventually, so. We shouldn't have any trouble rounding up some trees to replant them, but
Yeah,
go ahead.
I took a picture of one of the trees at the new parkette,
Mhm.
and they show there how they're protected, you know,
Yep.
by mulch.
Yep.
That sort of thing.
Yep.
And the reason it came to my attention was because I worked at Baltimore Valley Garden Center, and I learned how to plant trees properly there, and several years ago. And the guy there that owns it, John Moore, he had one video he showed in particular, where what I learned was he put a berm around at the root edge, a soil berm to keep and have the tree recessed in the ground just a little bit, and then he would actually dig with a shovel around the root edge, not to expose them, but enough to expose them, but to keep water in there. And in the summertime, he would create a reservoir and, you know, put a lot of water in there. So then you don't have to visit them quite as often.
Yeah.
I know it's been tough with the hot summers we've had.
Okay, was there any other questions for Randy? Cause yeah, I do that too for a living, as you know, and it is a hard thing, and we do try to, even us, we try to stay away from that. I've seen places that I've taken over where they almost cut a 4x4 post down by weed eating it. It's it can be pretty destructive. So you know, but like you say, to create something around the base of the tree to keep away from trimming so close, is probably the only way to prevent damage. So I think it's something that we can, you know, pass this on to our manager, Parks and Rec, and tell them to be
I
aware.
was gonna make a motion that we direct the manager of Parks and Rec to investigate the tree situation along Highway 7 or I guess throughout the township. And maybe Randy, if you said you had other pictures,
Yeah,
so maybe you could provide those other pictures to staff, just so we can identify all the trees, so
right,
that would be helpful.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you. And so we have a mover that we received the delegation today. Do I have a seconder? And that's seconded by Councillor Flagler. All in favor? Oh, yes,
Well, that was a motion with direction.
with direction, yeah.
So,
Okay, all in favor? And that's carried. Okay, well, thank you, Randy, and good you're appreciating our trees.
Yeah, oh, everybody loves trees.
That's right. So,
Yeah, for me, I'm looking for shade.
yeah, everybody is, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So,
take care of it.
Yeah, well,
so the next item on our agenda here is staff reports for information. The report there was manager of public works with regards to our granular material and hired equipment quotation. And the second one was chief administrative officer and our manager of public works with regards to the blue box transition. Producer responsibility program. So no questions. I'll look for motion to receive those two reports.
Just a question for clarification. Does that mean we haven't made the selection? Okay. Thank you.
I think there's still more information through the county.
I'm sorry, this.
You're talking, oh, you mean for the granular materials?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, Peter? I thought you were talking blue box.
That's what you.
Yeah, through you, Mayor Martin. So, Deputy Mayor, yeah, so with the hired equipment and granulars, so that way we can choose whoever is in the list, so we can spread the work out evenly throughout the contractors and location as well. So some of the contractors are up north of Havelock, so we try to use and who has the right equipment for the job as well. So we don't just select one, we have them all in our group to use or choose from.
Is this new? Always done. Thank you, Peter.
Any other questions with regards to those two items? Yeah, take a motion to receive the reports for information. Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb. Seconder. Oh,
Just a question for the blue box survey, is that up on our website?
So the blue box survey through you,
That's
Mayor.
what I'm counting, so.
Yeah, it's a county, it's a county survey. I believe it's up on their website and they're also mailing it
Okay,
to the non-eligible group.
thank you, Bob.
Okay, I had a mover and a seconder. All in favor? And that's carried. All right, our next report here, and I should notice, Kathy, Councillor Clements is online here. She's doing it virtually here. She's got some things going on at home, so welcome, Kathy. Anyways, we're gonna move into staff report and follow-up action, and the first item here is our treasurer with regards to the presentation of the 2023 tax rate bylaw.
Through you, Chair, the bylaw that will be discussed later, it includes the total tax levy approved for 2023. It includes the tax ratios for each tax class and the resulting tax rates for each tax class. And if approved, there will be a version of the information posted to our website that includes the municipal tax rate, the education tax rate, the county tax rate, and any applicable village tax rates so that people can see the total tax rates that they will be paying for 2023.
Okay, all right, so we spent a lot of time on the budget and went through a lot of things and this is where we've ended up. So I'll have any questions from council. There is a recommendation here. Beth, go ahead.
It's gonna be Mayor Martin, Lionel. 2023 village. What's page am I on? 78. It says, garbage collection of 57,000. I was under the understanding we put that down to 36,000 for the income.
Through you, Chair, that's
Here, I'm not sure, well. This one right here was 57, yeah, but there's an income. But I thought that income had decreased. Would be that?
future, that would be the cost of. I can't remember the vendor actually, but what it would cost for us roughly to have that done for us. So that just became part of the costs necessary to recoup, I guess you would say, from the taxpayers.
The 58,000 was the cost or?
Yeah.
So the 30,000 that Councillor Flagler was talking about, I don't know. I don't have my book with
That
me.
was the income from
Yes.
last year.
Yeah, through you, Mayor Martin, I think there's, yeah, so what Councillor Flagler is addressing is the revenue stream. That sixth line, we made
Oh.
a change to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
Through Chair, that has been changed, Councillor Flagler, and this is through Chair, the expense for the vendor to collect the garbage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
any other questions? The recommendation here is with the bylaw number 2023-31 being a bylaw to adopt the estimates for 2023 to establish and adopt tax rates and to provide for a minimum tax be adopted in the bylaw section of the council meeting later. So, Scott?
I'll make a motion to approve the recommendation. Madam Treasurer.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb that we move the recommendation. Do I have a seconder? I'll second. Seconded by Councillor Flagler. Any questions or comments? Yeah.
Thank you to Lionel staff, Kayla, all the staff for all the hard work. See you again in a few months, I guess. Thanks all over again. Thanks.
Very soon.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Councillor Doherty.
I don't know whether it's available now, but it's 7,131,394. What was last year's number? Please, I think have it.
No, it's here. Oh, there. It's there.
I'm gonna press those on, so just bear with me for a second here.
Sure.
I should have,
And vote on.
I didn't see her here.
To you, Chair, the corresponding amount for 2022 approved budget was $6,842,513.
That's rough. I didn't do the percentages. Yeah, or I can do it.
No, to you, Chair, the percentage that being for the net tax levy was 4.2.
Thank you. Okay. All right, then, and Councillor Clements is online, like I said earlier, and yeah, okay, there. Councillor Clements, did you want to say where you're at? And
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, council, and good morning, mayor and staff. I'm at home for a very short period of time here. I do want to thank staff. You went above and beyond helping, especially the newbies, getting through our first budget. Your patience was incredible. I know I sent my questions in ahead of time. I went and sat with people ahead of time, and you're an amazing, amazing staff. I thank you, and I would like to say that I think that this is a great budget and it should be passed.
all right. Thank you. Thanks, Kathy. And so I'm gonna I've got a mover and a seconder on this. I'll ask you to leave your screen unmuted anyways. And so I'm gonna call a question here. All in favor of the motion? And that's carried. Okay, so we only have the one bylaw here. I was gonna see if we can move it up, if that's all right with council. And the bylaw 2023-31, being a bylaw to adopt the estimates for 2023 to be established and adopt the tax rates and provide a minimum tax. So the bylaw is there. I will look for a motion that we move that bylaw. Councillor Doherty, you're moving that?
I am.
Okay, do I have a
And
second?
Can I second it, please?
Okay, seconded by Councillor Clement.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, through you, Mr. Mayor, the tax levy, final tax levy is 4.2, the final tax rate is 3.9.
To you, Chair, that's correct.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so we have a mover and a seconder. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you, everyone, for all your work in this. It was, you know, I learned a lot during the budget, and like Deputy Mayor Webb said, won't be long, we'll be getting back into the other ones. So thank you very much. Okay, so the next item on the agenda here is the food recycler program. Catch up, but we talked about this at the last meeting, and it is in the budget. So there was a recommendation here that the food recycler municipal food waste diversion pilot program is hereby adopted as presented in the report of the Chief Administrative Officer. So is there any questions around that report? This was from our last meeting. What's
Blue Box report?
no, this is
We were doing Blue Box.
That was part of the.
that was part of the staff report for
I just want these in order, really helps me. So what, are you around just?
Where,
So the food cycler.
Oh, we're the
Yes.
food side.
number 7.
Yes.
I cannot see that.
So this with what we discussed and put some money into the budget for to introduce this program. So today's meeting would be that that we hereby approve as presented in the report of the Chief Administrative Officer. So is there any questions or comments?
I have, for you, Mayor Martin, the cost is 10,000, and then we're paying for the shipping at 2,000 and 2,450. Correct?
Yes, through you, Mayor Martin, that is correct. And we do have Jacob on the line as well, who made the delegation to us earlier. If Jacob is there, he's happy to answer any questions for us. Jacob, do you have any comment on that?
Good morning, Mayor and councilors and members of staff. Yes, so I just wanted to make a quick comment that to start, this is fantastic that the program is coming to Havelock here. It's had a lot of success in Peterborough County so far. And yes, so I just wanted to say that the 10,000 that was approved for the program, so that is what we asked for 100 households to be involved. Within our proposal, which is, I believe, attached to this report, we do have the shipping estimate in there as well. So the total cost of the program would be a couple thousand more than the 10,000. In terms of on your end with the budgeting, if that's something that can be made work, then we can keep that at the 100 household level. But if 10,000 is the total allocated amount that can go towards this program, then we'll likely have to reduce the number of households involved in the program to be able to cover that shipping as well. And I apologize if that side of things wasn't clear within my presentation that I had done here a few weeks back.
Shipping will be included in the, can it be included in when, if somebody orders it, the shipping go to the buyer, or is that an option?
So we'll ask Jacob, how do you typically handle that? So if a purchaser is getting one of these units in your other townships, are they paying for shipping?
So when the program is being run by the municipality or the township, and there's a collection day and there's a bulk shipment to the township, in most of our programs, the township does cover that. The only times that we've had the resident cover the cost of shipping is if, for whatever reason, the township didn't have the capacity or the staff power or the space to have the units shipped in bulk to, let's say, the town office or to an arena or something, and they just didn't have the staff capacity to actually do the collection day and everything. So then if the only option were for residents to have them shipped directly to their homes, then that's when we would pass along that shipping cost to them.
To you, Chair. I think it's I don't remember it in your original presentation that there was these extra costs. It was $10,100 for the person to get it on the program. I think it's something that you used the word, it's only a couple thousand. Well, if it's only a couple thousand, maybe you guys could pay for it then if it's that small in nature, because we just went through a budget process. We could have budgeted perhaps a little bit more if we had known the costs were going to be up. So I just, maybe the next township or municipality, it might be something that they would have interest in. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a question in terms of moving forward. So I like kind of what the program offers, but I got a few questions. So say we enter this, and I'm wondering how the warranty would work. So we give these out or sell them to somebody comes back. Who decides whether the warranty's valid, or like do we have to train a staff member to know one of these, or like know the warranty, or you see what I'm getting at here? And there's a thing in here too in terms of replacement filter packs and stuff. So do our residents, do they get those from you? Do they get them from us, the township? Or like, are we gonna have to start stocking filter packs here for these? Like, I got a whole bunch of kind of smaller questions here about, things like that. So maybe if you could take me through some of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I'm here today for all these details. So in terms of the warranties, any kind of troubleshooting or any issues that residents might have with the machine, we handle all of that. We try to place as little burden onto the township as possible. So we have our customer care team that is available for residents to reach out to, and all that information will be given to residents as well. There's a nice intricate resident guide that will come with the machine for them that we we'll have our contact information. We have kind of the do's and don'ts with the machines, and then we will also have the information on how residents can get the filters if they wanted to, let's say, buy an extra bucket just to increase their capacity, and then as well as the filters. So we take care of all of that. If the township wanted to have filters stocked up in the town office, that's definitely something we can do, and we do that in some of our municipal partnering municipalities. But we we like to leave it up to the township to be as hands-on or hands-off as they want. So we handle all the replacements, all the warranties. We'll walk through the process with the residents if there is an issue and try to solve it remotely if we can, and if not, we'll replace their unit for them. And then we also ensure that they have access to our online resident portal for replacement filters as well.
Okay, just as an example then, so somebody malfunctions at home, who do they contact? Do they contact us, the municipality? Do they contact you?
They contact us. They'll have our contact info, and in their resident guide, it will say for any issues at all to contact us. We're essentially managing this program alongside you. So
that's what I'm getting at, kind of, is that eventually they're going to say they bought the machine from us, right? Even though we're obviously working in coordination with you. So I can envision one or two customers probably trying to shift the blame onto us, and how do we cover and say it's, you're telling me that no, we just refer them to you, but they'll probably say to us, well, why are you selling these machines to your residents if you're not going to honor the warranty?
Well, the warranty will be honored. It's just about them speaking with the right person, and that's something that we make very clear to them, that we are the people to talk to when it comes to anything with the machine. As I said, this is a partnership. We're working together here. So if we get a question from a resident, such as, my neighbor wants one, but all of the units have been sold out, how do they get one? That's when we would refer them back to you and say, go chat with your local counselor and ask if another program's on the way or anything like that. And then likewise, if there's any issues that come to you about the machines, we want you to refer them over to us.
Okay, mine would be more of, they had a problem with the machine. They brought it, you took it back to you for warranty, and you guys told them that whatever it wasn't covered under the warranty, and they still wanted their money back. So how would they get their money back? Would you guys give them their money back, or are we supposed to give them their money back?
Well, anything that happens in that first year is covered under the warranty. So we haven't actually had to deal with anything like that where someone's asking for their money back because the machine's not working. We replace it within a day or two for them, and we're very on top of this side of the program.
Okay, thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Through you, Mayor Martin, just to assist, perhaps to clarify, I think council might be more comfortable. There's two different ways to apply the program, and essentially what council is doing is simply subsidizing the cost of it for ratepayers who wish to purchase one. So council would probably be more comfortable if the unit is purchased directly from Food Cycler. They can be distributed by Food Cycler. There's two options for distribution. Either it's distributed directly to the purchaser, or all the units are sent to the township, and we have a distribution day where everyone lines up and comes to pick up the unit that they ordered. We could do it either way. The bottom line is they are purchasing it directly from Food Cycler. We're simply subsidizing it by $100.
No, I'm just, I like the program or whatever. I'm just envisioning problems that I see, right? So
Sure.
I said someone that breaks down, they try to get a hold of them, they can't get a hold of them.
Yes.
They're gonna be down here in our office bothering you and other staff, right? Saying, you guys are the ones that are running this program.
Right. So
Fix my
through you,
machine.
Mayor Martin, it might be more comfortable for council and for everyone understanding the program that they purchase it directly from Food Cycler. And then we're not involved in that transaction.
That we just subsidize.
Right.
Right, extra. So
Right.
Thank you, Brian.
So I'm not sure how much it costs to send an individual unit there, Jacob, but so if we put that into the price, as much as we're subsidizing it, the subsidy might only cover the shipping, but if we put the cost of shipping onto the bill there when they order it, are we allowed to do that as far as the way your programs run? Does that work?
With our programs, we typically leave that as a last resort if there just isn't the capacity or the space or the staff power for the collection day. I will say that in all of our collection days that we've had with our 40 plus completed programs, it's been a really fun and successful event. The residents, we're especially in Ontario, we usually have someone right there for the day to answer questions and give demos and things like that. The residents typically give really good feedback that they like that the township is bringing this program on, and it's more than just giving them a machine or them having something arrive in the mail. It's because it is a partnership and a program that's being implemented by the township. It's something where residents, they feel that sense of community, and they feel like this is something that they wanted to have here, and their council brought it. So we've had mayors and councillors attend these collection days in the past, and I will just say that it is typically a fun half day or day event. And so that's part of the program that we like to promote, because again, it is a township run program. It's not just, putting a machine in someone's house. It's part of waste diversion strategies, and it just, there's a lot of kind of qualitative aspects to it that go above just putting a machine in someone's home. So with that being said, we always recommend a collection day, but if that's something that you're set on not having, and you're set on the residents absorbing the shipping costs, then that is something that we can implement.
So one of the questions around the CAO's suggestion there is, and it's the same when you order clothing or whatever, who wants the extra large, who wants the large? So by doing it through you, is that how it works then? Is the orders would all come to you, whether they want a large one or a small one, and that shipment would be put together and then they would all come together? Is that how it works?
Yeah, so we would do a pre-registration, and part of that would be, I did this actually in Norwood last weekend, and I believe I'll be doing this in Havelock at the event on May 13th, I believe, where I'll have a booth set up, and I'll just be there to share information with residents and take signups. And then we'll also have the online registration link that will be distributed through your website or through your social pages, or if you have a town app. I believe Norwood has an app that they were using as well. And then we'll be able to actually get that exact split of how many larger units, how many smaller units, leading up to before we actually send the shipment out. So residents will sign up, select their unit, they'll have the information on hand, and then they'll be able to give us the exact numbers, and we'll know exactly how many of each are coming in.
Okay, and I think like Councillor Doherty said, the 2000 is kind of threw a little monkey wrench into it as far as not having all of the numbers and you're right, the excitement here. I was on a meeting yesterday, and I know there's councillors outside of the areas that are selling them wondering how they can get one, because everybody's wanting in on this program. So it's going over really well, and and I know there's ways of doing that, but so it's nice that you're coming on the 13th. It would be nice to figure out how we can work this other 2000 either into it, or how we can work around it to get this moving. So so I don't know what ahead, Councillor Flagler.
One question for you, Mayor Martin. Jacob, when you come on the 13th to explain this program, is it stressed that the township is giving the $100 for the subsidized? Like, will they all know that it's an $800 unit, and then you're going to show, right? And then the township's 100. And if the township wanted to, we could pay for the shipping costs and have a one-day pickup. Is that my understanding? I'm with Heart Web. Like, we don't want to be questioned about it after, like even a year or two afterwards. Like they're going to say, well, we got this from you. So I'm just kind of wondering if that's how you're going to stress the fact that it is your company and we're just subsidizing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and you're correct, right, with everything you said. So the same way that we did it with Norwood is I'll be there, and I'm representing Food Cycle Science and letting residents know that this program was brought to the township through subsidies and through the township subsidizing it and allowing it to be at that more accessible cost to residents as part of a program versus a retail. And so, yes, that is something we stress. I can't stress enough that we try to make this as risk-free and as burden-free of a process for the township, from things like being full support for warranties, for being the first point of contact for residents. We look to the township for promotion, and to get word out to residents. But other than that, everything else is really on us, and we take a lot of pride in making sure that we're as accessible to residents. We give them all the information and all the portals and links that they need to order filters and to get in touch with us for any warranties or defects. So I'll try to emphasize that as much as I can, that side of this partnership is something that we take a lot of pride in, and we have a full team who's dedicated to making sure that residents are taken care of.
Here you go, Mr. Mayor, at the demonstration on the 13th, will you have a supply of the filters and so on there just to show them what they look like and how they're going to be? And secondly, will you have a mechanism to take the deposit on these things? Because my understanding is, I thought we were going to be involved in the distribution. Now I'm thinking that we're not involved in the distribution. So if you're taking orders on the 13th, how does that work? Just the people that are coming to celebrate Havelock will get an opportunity. I don't know how that end of it works. So maybe you could bring me up to speed, Jacob. Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. So basically, I won't be taking any payments. I'll be taking registrations. So we do the pre-registration, and once we have the 100 who have signed up, we then distribute the link to them because we're taking their emails, phone numbers, postal codes as well to make sure they are residents of the town. And then so we will send them off the portal to actually pay, and that confirms because some people will potentially back out. So we always keep a bit of a wait list as well. We have had to phone residents before and say, just want to confirm you got that email and the payment is coming up. And so we are very hands-on for that and ensuring that residents get that link, know how to pay. We've taken payments over the phone before, just for some residents who don't feel comfortable doing credit card on the internet. So we are flexible in that sense. So I won't be collecting payments on the 13th, but I will be taking registrations or pre-registrations. And then that way, anyone who's there who is interested will have the opportunity. But then from what we ask of the township is that you'll be able to also promote the program on the town website. We've had some partners who have put it into the tax bill. Just there are different ways, and we can also help out. We'll provide any kind of promotional material, any information that's beneficial for residents. And yeah, we just ask that you help with getting the word out essentially, because I have no doubt that 100 will be scooped up pretty quick. Might not be on the 13th at that day. I know with Norwood, we got about halfway there just based on that Earth Day event and the week following that. So I hope that answers your questions.
Follow up. Yes, thanks, Jacob. The people that apply on the 13th, what kind of a message are we sending that they are actually going to get one, or they're simply registering for an opportunity to join the program? Which sales are we going to be?
So we're letting them know that they have registered and they will be getting one. It is a first come first serve. So the first 100 who sign up will be the ones who get it, and we track all that as well with our online registration. So the people who do sign up that day will get it, but we also will be able to have them leave with handouts and information as well if they wanted to think about it for a little while, and have them know that it will be on the town website to sign up there as well.
So yeah, I had a waste management meeting yesterday, and there's a lot of excitement around this thing, like I said, and I've seen it from other communities, and I've had a lot of calls as far as how to get one of these things. I'm really surprised myself, and I know Councillor Clemens is really happy with her unit. So
can I interject just for a minute? Sorry, I have to leave. I was with Jacob at Norwood. I talked to the deputy mayor there. I've also talked to the mayor of Selwyn. It's really positive. I'm sorry about the extra cost. I didn't realize. I'm hoping we can get around that. So far I have 11 orders, and they're all for the large composters. And with that, thank you, Jake. Your presentation was great. It was good seeing you in Norwood. I'll see you in a couple weeks, I guess. And to everyone else, thank you. I have to go. Sorry.
Okay, thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
So,
Hi, through you, Mayor Martin. Jacob, after, say you do the presentation on May 13th, my concern is all of the residents should know about it, not just ones that are gonna go to Celebration Havelock and happen to walk by and say, oh, you got that program. So has this been, have we agreed to partner with you? And if so, is it on our website? Like, are we going to try and contact the whole township? And second question, if you've got 100 people like right away, do you still take more after that to show us if this program is going to be a big hit or if we need to do it again? Was my answer. Like, do you still take them after the 100?
Yeah, so we do a wait list afterwards. We make it known that it is first come, first serve, but that anyone after that first 100 will be on a wait list. And with that, that allows us to bring that information back to you. And if there's another 100 or there's extra 50 or however many there are, that just allows it to come back to council to see if it's something that you would like to do an expanded order or do a second order, or if it's something where if it's just not in the budget for this year to add any more, at least you know there is the demand, and maybe next year, I think it was Trent Lakes nearby to you that they've added about 200 units on average each year since 2021. They're at almost 600 right now. So for them, they've just been slowly adding more each year. Some places, if it blows by 100 and in the sign up, if it's in the budget and it gets approved, then they'll add another 100 right away. It's on our end, we can make it all happen. It ultimately ends up being however the resident demand is and the decisions by council.
Thank you.
Councilor Doherty?
Follow up through you, Mr. Mayor. I think Councillor Clement said that she's got 11 big ones sold. We haven't even ordered 11 big ones yet. And I'm wondering, and this goes back to the logistics of it, if you're going on May 13th to take orders, what do those 11 people, where are they in the scheme of things? Are they in first? Because they would be first if she's got an application. I don't know, really. I'm a little confused as to how we're going to market this to give everybody an opportunity and sign people up on the 13th. And today's
So normally, so the way it would work is if we approve this thing today, it would go on our website. So it'll probably be up for almost 2 weeks before Celebrate Havelock. So that being said, the best case scenario, they'd all be sold before you get to Celebrate Havelock, and it would just be a waiting list that you fill out. That could happen. Whether it does, I don't know. And the people that have requested now, from the one email I received, is they're interested. They would have to fill out the card and register for it to get in the queue. They're just basically right now, the ones that I've seen are looking, they're interested and they want one, and they're saying what size they want. But that being said, they would have to go through the program to do it right here. Otherwise, like you say, we would have people buying them and they're not even available. So there is a process here. They would be listed for almost 2 weeks before the Celebrate Havelock. And, you know, I'm sure people will be signing up before then. And in a best case scenario, even if there was 50% of them sold before Celebrate Havelock and you sold the other 50% there, the problem we've got is this $2,000 that we didn't plan on. And, you know, there's different ways of doing it. The simple way, and it's way too early into this new budget we just passed, but we do have council initiatives, and the shortfall is where it's handy to get through this program this year and to get it moving. There is an opportunity that we pulled a couple thousand from council initiatives and use that as a, like I say, listening to people. This is a win-win for even like the township people more. There is a program coming out with the city that, you know, the town may be able to access as far as green waste. That's not going to work for the township people. They still have to get rid of things. And so there is an opportunity. This is a positive thing. You know, and I think it's something that we should, you know, get behind. That 2,000 kind of, I wish we had known about it last week or a couple of weeks ago, but there is an opportunity here to get the program going and pull that from council initiatives if council. So if they wanted to do that, but that's just one option. So.
Yeah, there's an overrun in the cost, but I mean, we're kind of somewhat committed to this program, not totally. And for me, you know, if the program is of its merits, then as you said, like, the 100 will go quick and we'll be ordering more in no time. So I think we should just let Jacob do his promotion at Celebrate Havelock and, you know, see how it goes before we kind of make any further decisions on this, because I'm with you in terms of, I think it will be well received, but if it's not, then that's fine and we move on, right? But I think it's just let it be, and we'll see how our residents react to it. So.
And through you, Mayor Martin, just to reiterate, and to further answer Councilor Flanagan's question. While this item was approved in budget, the program has not yet been finally approved. So that's today.
That's what today is.
That's what today is. So anyone who's expressed an interest in having one of these, they're not sold. Nobody has signed up for anything yet. That this program is to be approved today, if council so desires. As far as the extra money goes, there are two options for receiving the unit, either ship directly to whomever signs up, or we can do the bulk receive, as Jacob explained, and then have a distribution day. If it's shipped directly to the customer, then there's no shipping cost to us. The customer pays the shipping costs. If it's a bulk ship to the township and we have a distribution day, then that creates a slight overrun in the budget.
So,
One way of planning.
yeah.
Exactly.
So it's up to council here. There's, as CAO said, there's two options here. I would personally say that, you know, a bulk shipping is probably, when you talk about complaints and things like that, at least they'll all come to one place, wherever it is, and we can deal with it, but that's up to council. It's, there is an option there in this recommendation. Instead of as presented, we could add the line there that we go through council initiatives to, help with that $2,000, and it's kind of a live and learn on our part there too. I wish it had been there, but it's up to council.
I'll make a motion that we pay the $2,450 out of council initiative. That's one part of the motion that we're going to approve that. Now I'd like to see whether we can get a seconder on that. And then we can take a look at the program to see whether we would like to make any changes. That would be my recommendation or motion.
Okay, so the mover, that we take the 2,400 and I haven't got the change there. 50 from council initiatives. Is there a seconder for that?
Question is, well, actually, sorry, I'll go ahead. I'll second.
Okay, seconded by Deputy Mayor Webb. Any other questions? All. Go ahead.
Just one, sorry, through you, Mayor Martin, sorry, Jacob, pickup day, if it's a bulk one, are you there that day? Or is someone from your office there that day to help out, to give out these machines?
Yep, absolutely. We, especially with our close proximity to your area, us being in Ottawa, we'll make sure that ideally it would be me, but one of us will be there. Well, maybe even two of us, and we'll be able to help with some of the lifting if need be, but also help with just ensuring residents know exactly the do's and the don'ts and the ins and outs of the machine and what to do with the byproduct. And so they should know.
We got the same meeting. Good.
Okay, thank you, Jacob.
Okay,
Um,
so the other part of
I don't
it,
know what they were talking about. I didn't know whether it was.
no, Deputy Mayor Webb was asking about if the delivery part was in this part of the.
Like as part of your motion for the extra 2,000.
I just paid for them.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
So if we're gonna pay for them, it's bulk.
I want discussion in terms of
Right,
whether.
so that goes with that option, I believe. And then the procedures that I would like.
So it does, so the 20, that would include the bulk delivery.
That's bulk delivery. Otherwise, we'd be shipping directly to the customer. They'd be paying. That's what I understood.
yes, that's what you
That-
understood.
That I.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I doze off in these meetings and I get.
Me too.
Good.
So the motion was that we take the money from the council initiatives to include in the bulk delivery.
And we can add the word bulk, Deputy Mayor, for sure.
Yeah, and
Just to make it clear.
so all in favor of that motion, and that's carried. So there's not much left on this thing other than that we approve the diversion. Councillor Flagler, go ahead.
I would like to make a motion that we accept Jacob's proposal and do a bulk pickup at a location in Havelock. And that's it. That's my motion.
Thank you. So we have a mover to approve this program. Seconder for that. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Webb. Question?
Yeah, how are we logging and deciding the order in which people receive them? I don't want to be getting calls saying, well, I ordered one back in April and it's not there. So I'd like to, as long as we get clarity around, the procedure, Jacob, or I'm okay with the motion.
Yeah,
Okay.
so through you, Mayor Martin, and I will ask Jacob to chime in a moment. There are different ways to do this. I think the most efficient way is, first of all, Jacob is coming to celebrate Havelock and people can sign up right there. Or it will be online on our website and they can sign up that way as well. So there's two different ways to do that. If someone, and Jacob, I just wanted to ask you if we make the form available at the municipal office, can someone come in and sign up that way as well?
Yes to all three of those methods. And I'll just quickly say that what we typically do is we create the registration link and the registration page. We send it over to you, and then we're collecting all the registrations. If people have questions, they're contacting us. We give you weekly or every few days, we'll send you an update of the list with names and postal codes and emails of all the registrations. So it's really something that we're handling and then just keeping you updated on a daily or every couple of day basis.
And Jacob, if we receive a registration, if someone comes into the municipal office and says, I want to sign up for one of these, we just send it to you, right? And then you add them to the list? Okay.
Yep, typically we'll get that sent in an email or a photo from you.
Okay, Councillor Doherty.
I'm still okay. You come into the municipal office, fill out the application, we stamp it, May 6th. Somebody goes online, it's May 6th at 6:30 and they were in the office because we closed at 4:30. What priority? I'm just trying to get the priority so that we don't have any hiccups later on with it. That's all, in terms of priority. I'm hoping they all go, Jacob. I mean, I hope the whole 100 are gone and we have a waiting list, but I don't want people to be turned off in any way because I thought I was in early and you weren't. Our advertising will have on it first come, first served basis. I understand that, but that's my concern. Otherwise get her done.
Yeah, like you've done this, we've done 1,000 in the county now. Is that right, Jacob? Like this will be 1,000 that'll be distributed in the county?
I believe more than that between Selwyn and Norwood and Trent Lakes.
Okay. All right. So these are good questions that, and I would hope that you've dealt with all of these questions in the past and we don't run into that problem. So, okay.
Yeah.
CAO.
Through you, Mayor Martin, Councillor Doherty raises a good question, potentially a concern. And I think the solution is exactly as Councillor Doherty indicated. We would timestamp anyone who comes in. And basically it is a first come, first serve. So if you're in the door first, you get it before the next person.
If I may add as well, our registration platform, it does have the time and date of when it was filled out. So on our end, we'll have, with our list that we're sending you with updates, it will have everyone's exact day and that they have signed up as well.
So if any come into the office, that's the only one that they wouldn't be able to guarantee them that day that they got one. They would just be put in and they can come back and see where they are in the queue. That's the
same as everybody.
Yeah.
You're just
but the ones
getting
that
in the queue. You aren't getting a unit.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no confusion there.
All right, well, lots of good questions. Thank you, Jacob. So we do have a mover and a seconder for the recommendation with the addition of the other motion for council initiatives to top it up. So I'm gonna call a question. All in favor of the motion? And that's carried. Thank you, Jacob, and I hope you'll let council know. Well, I'll see you on the 13th, but it would be nice if we knew when they were being delivered so we could be a part of the presentation.
We're a bit away from that, are we?
Yeah,
It won't be,
we'll make a big deal out of it for sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
Jacob, we'll be in touch, okay?
thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and councilors and members of staff, and I'll be continuing to coordinate with Bob, the CAO. And one thing I will just mention is this report that you got today with the shipping and everything. That's usually something that comes to council before any approval. I think the eagerness here was very encouraging and good to see. But I do apologize on my part that cost wasn't made as aware as it should have been leading up to the original approval in the budget. So my apologies, and I appreciate your time today. And I will be seeing you on the 13th, and I'll be available anytime before and after that for any questions. So thank you again.
Thank you. All right, our next item on the agenda here is our manager of public works for road tour is the first item there.
Yeah.
Only item.
Yes, through you, Mayor Martin, to the members of council, the purpose of this report is to establish a date to conduct a 2023 road tour with all the councils, all the members of the council, and to see some of our past and future road construction for in 2023.
Okay, so you do have a list of recommendations for the tour of the day, and you know, there is opportunity here. If anybody from council has any other ideas or areas that they think are important to go to, I think Peter's put this together to highlight some of the areas of work this year. That's usually the way it works, and some areas of maybe something coming up. So is there any questions here around this report? The thing will be to come up with a date. You know, my days seem to be Tuesdays, like if we can stay on our council meeting day to do this thing, or Fridays. That's the only days I got open. So sounds bad, but I was looking at my schedule this morning, and you know, Wednesdays for county are pretty well booked, and Thursdays seem to be all the other meetings. So might be able to fit a Monday in if somebody wants to do a Monday, but Tuesdays I pretty well keep for HPM. So what's council's thoughts on a date? I would say that we should get it over with sooner than later, because we're going to be into the construction season. So it would be nice if we could do it in May. Councillor Doherty?
For you, Mr. Mayor, well, I'm okay this week.
We would have to book a bus and everything. I don't have any openings.
If I could be just.
Yeah. Okay.
Just giving you some dates that you want.
Okay.
Okay, and then I won't be available till after the 8th. I might be able to get back on the 18th, but maybe the 19th. So I'm just saying is that if something in between those, I will not be there. Around those, I'm going to try my best to be there. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
So the suggestion I had was the 23rd. I know that's right after the long weekend, but would that cause a problem?
What day is that?
23rd.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. I'm going on the Tuesdays.
So that's not a council meeting, is it?
No.
18th.
I have the 23rd or 19th or 26th so far.
May 23rd.
That's the last Tuesday or second last, or there's the 30th too, actually. The 30th might be better.
Me three of the 23.
The 30th works for you? Why does it have to be Tuesday?
That's the only days I got open. I'm full every other day. Wednesdays are pretty well county. Thursdays I've got county and CBC Bay. Fridays are open. Yeah, it's kind of hard on some of these roads on a Friday but that's fine with me if I have Fridays open. So 26th, 23rd, or 30th. I have open. 26th is a Friday.
Just pick one.
Yeah, no.
23rd, good for me. I don't like Fridays.
Okay. 23rd, I'm hearing, 23rd is good. 23rd or 30th, the 23rd is right after the long weekend. I just seen some eyes when I said it was right after Victoria Day long weekend, but that's up to 23rd I've got on the table here right now. Any other? So if somebody else want to, 23rd, I'll say the 23rd then. Okay.
Motion for the 23rd.
Motion for the 23rd, moved by Councillor Doherty, seconded by Councillor Flagler. All in favor, and that's carried. Okay, thanks, Peter. What time? 9, 8 or 9?
Yes, through you, Mayor Martin.
9:30.
9?
It's an all day thing, so.
It's all day.
9:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9.
Reprogram the coffee.
Okay, we don't want to carry out reprogram as copy makers, so we're gonna stick with 9.
Big deal. Get a room at the Moonlight, you can stay all the time.
He'll probably be north then. So we'll pick that.
I guess we aren't going to Jack's Lake though on that tour, is that like?
Well, between now and when this thing's nailed down, I did say that, City Lane would have been a good thing to look at as far as what we're dealing with up there, but, Peter's got this down there. I mean, there is room for changes. If somebody thinks of something here tonight and, do we have another meeting before then?
18.
It could be tweaked at that meeting. If somebody thinks needs, talk to Peter, if there's something you really want on there. We can finalize the agenda on the 18th, but right now it's, this is it. Yeah, and lunch will be in there somewhere, so.
First thing I
Anyways.
noticed was
So, okay. All right then, so the next item we have on here is the deposit return program, and it was nice to see some people, put their names in for this.
Sorry, did that motion carry? We had a motion? Okay, perfect, thanks. All right.
Deposit return program, we had three come in for this and, so Peter, do you wanna? Our CAO, like it's I have.
Yeah, through you, Mayor Martin, just quickly summarize and the manager of public works can jump in afterward. We advertised the deposit return program. We had 3 submissions. And this report is presented for council's input and decision on whom you would like to see have the deposit return program this year.
Go ahead. Questions here, Mr.
Yeah.
I believe there was a motion last year or the year before when you originally let the deposit program out. And when it was awarded, maybe it was changed, I don't know, going from memory, is that they accounted for the money and then they distribute that to other organizations in the community. Is that what we're doing this year?
Yes.
Or so it's a similar, and it was in the advertising. I read the advertising.
Yeah.
So they got to share.
Yes, so through you, Mayor Martin, the community group, whoever is chosen, will then be required to bring a financial accounting to council and explain what they use their funds for.
But there's no program as such in the motion that says 10% goes here, 5%. Like there's no list of people that get the money out of it. I'm just trying to decide who makes the decision where it goes.
Yep, through you, Mayor Martin, to Councillor Doherty. So there were 3 submissions.
Yeah.
So whoever is chosen, whichever group is chosen, that group will get the money. And what they choose to do with that money, they will then report back to council. This is not a program that distributes throughout the entire community. So through you, Mayor Martin, if that's what council's wish would be, then the deposit return program should probably stay with the township, and we then council can determine how you want to distribute the money.
I think that distribution part of it came in because it was the Lions, they naturally distribute it.
No, sorry to
Yeah.
use the question was, do we have a motion that indicates what we're doing with the money under the program? If we don't, we're gonna go with, with this one, and they do what they want with the money, as long as do we need another motion to establish that, or do we not? That's all I'm trying to, because I do remember the motion, whether it's the Lions or whoever it was to break down the money received to other places. If that's still in the motion, I would assume that this program would fall under that unless we change the motion, but correct me.
Yep, through you, Mayor Martin, if it helps council's comfort, I would suggest put it in the motion that the chosen group will bring back a financial accounting to council at the end of the program.
Yeah, like, because so if it's hockey that gets it, I'm just using that name because I heard that name already and I had suggested that myself. They would account for the money that they collect and what they use it for or whatever. It's a new group in hockey that just took over. So this is probably where it's coming from. Yeah, so they would account for the money that they collected. With the Lions, it's a natural thing with the Lions that they distribute it throughout the community. That's what they do. So that would have been part of their report. But if we gave it to community care, it'll be going to community care and they would account for what they're using it for. Same as Homeward Bound here. They would account for what they're using it for. But right now, suggestion was hockey, and they would have to do an accounting at the end of the year to tell us what they used it for. That's what I just heard, a suggestion, and I was going to suggest that too. So, but
Is there a motion?
no, there's no motion. There's no motion. Suggestions here. So, if anybody else got any suggestions of where they would like it to go?
I think you already sort of through Mr. Mayor, you already suggested minor hockey.
I'm
That's what
suggesting
I was
that.
gonna suggest as well. Three good organizations. I'm not super familiar with Homeward Bound, but I'm sure they do great work. Community Care, another great organization, but I think they have numerous fundraising revenues already in place, and you've already brought up, hockey's been teetering on the edge here for a few years. They have a new group in there, so it'd be nice for us to show this new group a little bit of support in trying to get things back, on track. So I agree with you. Hockey.
So are you moving that?
Yeah, sorry, I'll move that and make that a motion then that we go with minor hockey.
Okay.
I'll
And
second the motion.
Councilor Dorr, second it.
And to reiterate, Deputy Mayor Webb says it's nice to see three groups interested in making a presentation. They were all good. If you have to pick one,
And this program is new to us. I'm hoping that the Lions will be able to explain, and help them with any shortfalls they found or challenges with the program. But yeah, it's nice to see. So we have a mover and a seconder for Havelock Minor Hockey.
Through you, Mayor Martin, to Deputy Mayor Webb, and to expand upon the motion. So the motion is Havelock Minor Hockey with a financial accounting at the end. Yes.
yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Give it, yeah.
So mover and a seconder, all in favor of the motion, and that's carried. Okay, thank you. Okay, the next item here, correspondence. We don't have any correspondence for action or correspondence for info. So moving into councilor activity reports. I don't know, do you have anything get on our web from the county?
County, real quickly, we had a presentation on from PATH, which is basically row tiny homes. I think we've had similar presentations here at the township level, so I won't go into that too much. And then, yeah, not too much. I guess the major point of contention was the discussion about changing the oath that we got into in terms of removing the King Charles III from oath of office, which was voted down in a recorded vote, by the way. So we'll be staying with the standard of oath to King Charles III, which is today.
6th. On the 6th of May.
So it's Saturday.
Yeah. Aren't you flying over?
Yeah.
So.
Not for him.
Okay. So, yeah, there was a lot of talk around the tiny homes, and I understand the city has some things going there. So with that,
And also, sorry, and there was, you didn't get to it.
No. Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you do the act?
Well, just the active minutes are there. If anybody had any comments in terms of what was there, questions, that those are the minutes from February, I believe, when we since had a meeting last week. So hopefully at the next meeting, those minutes will become more updated.
Yeah.
Tale of what's going on at ECDev. So
Okay, so we have minutes there from the February 13th meeting on ECDev. So the two reports from Deputy Mayor Webb with regards to the county and his economic development minutes there, I'll look for a motion to receive them. Moved by Councilor Flagler. Seconder. Seconder. Seconded by Counselor Doherty. Any questions around them? If not, all in favor? And that's carried. Okay, so we did have some activity from Counselor Clement. There is 2 sets of minutes in there. There's a set of minutes from community policing and some minutes from the library board. One was on March 8th and the other one was March 9th. If there's no questions around that, she's not here today anyways, I'll look for motion to receive those minutes. Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, seconder. Counselor Doherty, all in favor? And that's carried. And I had some cemetery board minutes. They were from before I was on the cemetery board, but they were from October. I was at a cemetery board meeting last week and so there'll be minutes from that coming forward here when they come out. So right now it's just a motion to receive those minutes from October 13th, 2022. Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb. The seconder for that. Counselor Flagler. Any questions around them or anything you want me to take back? If not, you can get back to me anyways anytime. All in favor? And that's carried. Okay, we don't have any written notice of motions. Is there any oral notice of motions for today's meeting? Seeing none, other business, there's nothing in other business. In the bylaw we dealt with earlier in the meeting. So do you want to go into the meeting out? And we do have a closed session meeting, so motion to go into close. Motion to go into closed, motion to go into closed, moved by our Deputy Mayor Webb and seconded by Counselor Doherty. All in favor? And that's all right then. So we're back in open. Motion to do you need a motion to resume open?
Yes, please.
Okay, moved by Counselor Doherty, seconded by Counselor Flagler, all in favor. That's carried. We do have a motion before we do the confirming bylaw.
Yes, through you, Mayor Martin, is that staff is directed to identify properties for future sports field locations, multiple properties, as many as possible.
Okay. All right, so somebody want to move that, so we direct staff?
Sorry, by the first meeting in June.
Thank you. Okay, want to move that?
Yes.
Okay, that's moved by Counselor Flagler, seconded by Counselor Doherty. That any questions or comments? All in favor, and that's carried. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the confirming bylaw. And move over to the confirming bylaw.
Oh, no, yeah, I'll do both.
You can do both.
Okay,
I can do 2 today.
all right. So Deputy Mayor Webb is going to move the confirming bylaw. And
Seconded, just use your other hand.
Counselor Flagler, all in favor? And that's carried. And adjournment. Deputy Mayor Webb.
Oh, this is, oh,
Yeah. And Counselor Flagler, all in favor? Perfect. And that's carried.